if you were to rewind 15 years, I never thought I'd be doing what I did or doing now. My name's Kris McFarlane. Recently was hired to do remote carpentry instructor with Ashton College. My background, I've been a Red Seal Carpenter for going on 15 years now. I've everything from residential, industrial to commercial, and about 5 to 10 years ago, became self-employed, flipping real estate, and here I am now. I've done a host of different things in the industrial sector. Carpentry is just one of them. I've written a host of books on carpentry trade specifically. And the foundation all came from carpentry, learning how to, get things done, so to speak. There's two worlds of work. One's blue collar, one's white collar. Back in the 90s, 2000s, similar to what I'm seeing now in the workforce, is that there is a big draw for trades, especially skilled trades, people that know what they're doing past just, I'd use the term skilled labor. And in blue collar, you just get it done. What I found in white collar is a bit more relaxed when it comes to deadlines. Obviously, there's excuses or there's different parameters and everything, but blue collar is very much just you just get it done. And the biggest attribute that I can attest in trades is growing up in an industry that you're treated as an equal to all your peers. It's just if you show up every day with a great attitude, you get rewarded for it, opposed to kind of bouncing around to all these different positions that don't really amount to anything, so to speak. So the passion for carpentry came when I was just simply doing it for work, to be quite honest. And for myself, I always saw that vision or view of being, a site super, estimator, project manager, whatever it might be. And throughout starting carpentry quite young, I was able to see and also be mentored by a lot of great site supers out there that all had a background in carpentry. And that's where what's great about carpentry is, yes, you're doing the building from basically foundation to roof, but you need to know all these different parameters about, you know a little bit about electrical, you learn a little bit about plumbing, you learn a little bit about where HVAC gets mounted to, etc. So when you're looking at the building, it's kind of like this puzzle that you're kind of putting those pieces together. And where that draw for education came from was I was kind of using the term phasing out of trades a little bit. I'd been in industrial trades at that point for about 8 to 10 years. And the opportunity came up to teach at a local college. It was actually the foundation program. And I had a great teacher when I was going to school that kind of kept me on track through my most formative years. And it was a way for me to give back to the industry that gave me so much. And through that, I was able to find my passion for education, rekindle that fire, so to speak, which went on to building an online education platform, writing a host of books on carpentry and various trades. But it's building a product for people like myself, like yourself, that are actually going to use it, opposed to just the white collar saying this is what the tradespeople need, when in fact this is what they need, and you need to have that bridge, someone that speaks both those languages in order to make it happen. What it means to be a tradesperson, this just isn't for carpentry. It can be any trade, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a Red Seal trade. It can just be any, I would use the term blue collar profession. Where I find that difference in blue collar to white collar is when you're in white collar, you're part of a team. You're there, if things go south in a hurry, people can be injured, it can be life-changing, it can be all the things that, knock on wood, no one ever experiences. When you're in white collar, if a proposal goes wrong or whatever it might be, Sure, the company might lose a bunch of money, but the worst I've ever done to my body is a paper cut. There's two very different worlds that I think until individuals work in the blue collar and learn to just kind of, I'd use the term, you get the job done, you'll really learn what deadlines and pressure are, opposed to that white collar world. In terms of carpentry, what someone could expect in entering that trade, I would use the term, you got to be humble. And that's where in the blue collar world, sure, you might start, pushing a broom or bending nails or framing walls or working in prefab or whatever it might be. But, you can take your career wherever you really want to go. If you want to think of it as a choose your own adventure. And that's where too, a lot of individuals, they think that the apprenticeship and the Red Seal is really the end of the road, but it can go Red Seal, Gold Seal, which my understanding of it is that it's a project management certificate that builds on the Red Seal. From Gold Seal, you could even go into your PMP, project management professional, go into estimating. It's really understanding the foundation of what you're doing and taking that as far as you want. A lot of people will think that the Red Seal's that glass ceiling, so to speak, but it's as far as anyone wants to take. In the education platform that we built, very similar to a college or university or whatever it might be, I feel like when someone really has that mindset for education and how it can better individuals, it never stops. If you were to rewind 15 years, I never thought I'd be doing what I did or doing now. My career has been challenging, rewarding, humbling, everything in between. When I entered trades, it was, why are you going into trades? Why aren't you going into business? Why aren't you going into architecture? Why aren't you going into whatever it might be? In trades, now what I'm seeing within the last, I'll use the term 1 to 3 years, is people are being driven back into trades. There's a whole whackload of incentives in order to go to school, and a lot of people are just not familiar with these. And what I'm seeing now, having more of that experience in tech, as well as having that experience in, wearing a pouch and being on site, is a lot of these tools, they're being powered by AI. They're doing these very complex tasks. And where I see carpentry going is they're baking a lot of tech into it. So it's interesting where, the trade was to where it is now to where the future is going to bring it, especially with, the AI, which I think there's the industrial sector as a whole is probably the biggest leg of technology. And they're coming to it now. But it's going to be interesting to what carpentry is. Is it going to be managing AI? Is it going to be, managing the software? Is it going to be how to do it? There's some pieces over here. There's some pieces over here. And if you're able to holistically bring yourself in and say, this is what I need from over here, this is what I need from over here, and you can speak to those two groups, that's where I found my biggest success. Being able to speak the language of the carpenter, of the drywaller, of the plumber, of the HVAC, of the whatever it might be, and speaking the language of the construction manufacturer, of the finance platform, of the education platform, of the whatever it might be, and being able to bridge it to both the industries. People that are in the blue collar world, they do business on trust. They do business on handshake. And if you said, hey, before we start this smaller project, I'll say, $10,000 and under, I'm going to send you an LOI. They're going to be like, what's that? Not always, because there are a lot of very successful business people in trades, but this is more of we do business on a handshake and word is law. Where in the white collar world, the pen's mightier than the sword. If it's not in writing, it never happened. With the exam prep course, we'll cover, a foundation, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and then a bit of review. What I love about this course is the fact that you can take your industry knowledge, your hands-on experience, and condense that and say, okay, so I'm going to take the review course. Yes, I still need to study. Yes, I still need to learn on my own. But what this is going to do is it's going to do, align a lot of those pieces and show, myself as a student where I might be weak, where I need to study more, or hey, I've been in the industry for X amount of years. I've read all my books. I know what I'm getting into, and I'm ready to take this exam. And what we specifically offer in the course is, are you prepared or are you not prepared? And if you're not prepared, through our very high level conversation, they're going to see the areas which they can improve in. So this course is really designed for anyone that's been in the industry. So this course is really designed for anyone that's been in for a lot of years, individuals that are self-starters, individuals that have read the text and think that they're ready to take the Red Seal exam, or individuals that are new to Canada, English as a second language, individuals that want a holistic view, very similar to taking your car to a mechanic. What's working, what's not working, what should I learn? Great for any individuals like that. Individuals should consider taking this course because first of all, you're going to learn from someone that's been in the industry for, 20 plus years, an individual that has a background in education, and an individual that can make that bridge between this is what is written in front of you. This is where you are, and these are the points that you can kind of self-guide, your learning, so to speak, when it comes to taking that final test. My biggest advice for anyone that is thinking about entering school or considering challenge, whether it's year one all the way to year four or even the IP, is study, study, study. If you can't open up that book and understand the concept or understand the series of events or understand whatever it might be, study more, study more, study more. It's a pleasure. I look forward to working with Ashton, kind of bringing some of my skill set, of my passion, to the classroom and